guys!
Hi guys!
Welcome to another episode of Real Food Live. I'm Talia Chai. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist and clean foods chef, and I have a special guest on the show today, Nadia Comentis. She's a naturopathic doctor and also the host of
Real Talk, another show that we do.
Real Talk with Alina, who's lovely. So we have two awesome shows going on, Facebook Live shows now. And I'm so excited that Nadia is here today because I'm going to be cooking up an amazing cake and you're going to be helping.
Which is big news, guys. So I am not a good baker. Like, I have strengths, I have weaknesses. Baking weakness. I'm not a very precise person, so I'm going to be asking Talia to give me lots of little tips on how to, if you are a bad baker, kind of, still make it taste delicious.
And don't forget, as you are watching, whether you love baking or you're intimidated by baking or you never bake, ask your questions as well.
Yes.
So we have someone manning the comments who will pass on, oh yeah.
It's me.
Oh yeah, because Nadia's here today.
Yeah, I'm
so normally it's someone
comments.
behind the camera. But now we're literally going to do it right in front of you.
I have my laptop. I am going to be checking in every so often to try to get to all of your comments and questions. So please ask lots.
Now, this isn't just baking. This is healthy baking, which is its own exciting beast of a baking task that we're taking on. But it's still just as easy, if not easier, actually.
Okay.
Like, this recipe is so simple. But once again, all your questions and comments, pass them through and we will answer as many of them as we can. I think we should get started.
I mean, if you guys are chocolate lovers, you are gonna die.
Yes.
This is like, I'm so excited to get started. She made me smell a finished cake. and we were all like, what is that? It smells unreal. So
this whole cake that we're making today it's a chocolate avocado cake. But the whole thing is dairy-free, gluten-free, and refined sugar-free. The entire cake, including the frosting.
Which is, every time I hear those words, because luckily I don't have sensitivities or intolerances to those.
Right.
So every time I hear something is free, I'm always like, is it taste-free?
Well, it'd be hard to imagine a chocolate cake tasting good without any of those things, but you'll never know. I mean, you taste the avocado a little bit, which I actually like. Besides that, you would never know that any of those things are missing from this recipe.
And I was just gonna say too, the first thing I think of is dryness and a lack of flavor, but what Talia has done here is the absolute opposite. You would never know.
Well, you'll see. So stay with us, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
So first of all, we're gonna separate our dry ingredients here from our wet ingredients here. Yes.
Which I love. As soon as she came in, she started prepping and I was like, what are you doing? Why does it matter what side? Again, she was like, this is baking 101. And I was like, you need to teach me.
That is like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, dry from wet. Like, why are you even doing that?
Right, because, baking is chemistry, right? So it is science. Why are you separating them? What's the point?
So here's the thing, and I'll show you as I mix them together. So dry ingredients mix together better, and wet ingredients mix together better.
Got it.
So I have almond flour here that I'm going to put in.
Okay, so this would be the substitute to your regular everyday flour.
To white all-purpose flour, refined stripped flours that have basically no nutritional value and spike your blood sugar.
Awful.
And then I have cacao powder here, like cocoa powder or cacao powder. It's the same thing. Cacao is the more raw version of cocoa powder and it's more nutrient dense. So I'm going to add that in. But as you can see, two dry ingredients. I'm just gonna whisk this.
Ooh.
Actually, why don't you whisk it?
Okay.
Okay, so get in there and just stir it around with the whisk. And the reason why I'm using a whisk is because the whisk will eliminate little clumps without having to pour it through a sifter. Sometimes people pour their ingredients through a sifter, which gets messy, takes more time, and you have to clean the sifter.
Got it.
Smell the cacao?
The cacao smells so good. It's such a rich chocolatey smell. It's like a pure chocolate smell.
Yeah, so see how those lumps are coming out just with the whisk?
Should I be concentrating on them?
Yeah, get the lumps out.
One.
There you go. Now, if we had incorporated wet ingredients into this, it wouldn't combine as easily. It'd get clumpy, things would stick together. That's why as you keep whisking, I'm gonna add some baking soda.
Okay.
And I'm gonna add some baking powder. And look at how nicely everything's combining because they're all dry together. Once again, and a bit of sea salt.
Ooh.
If there were wet ingredients in here, it would get messy and clumpy, and it wouldn't. When you're making a cake or you're baking anything, you're dispersing it amongst a big cake pan,
right,
or let's say little muffin tins, but every bite has to taste the same.
And every bite has to be delicious.
And every bite has to be delicious. So you don't want your ingredients to not mix properly, because then you'll get all your baking powder in one corner and all your salt in one corner, and then someone's gonna get a big salty bite, or someone's gonna get a big bite that rose and then the rest of it didn't. So this is why we do dry ingredients separate from wet.
Many moons ago,
do you have a story about
one
this?
of my summer jobs back in the day was working actually at an all-boys camp, Camp Panaka, which love Camp Panaka, they're amazing. And I was a cook, so I cooked for almost 200 boys. Okay.
This was a secret side to Nadia that I never knew existed.
But they're amazing because they actually focus a lot on nutritional value and all of these things. But
amazing.
There was always a designated baker. As I had mentioned previously, obviously I am not, it's not my claim to fame. However, you're making this look really easy and I love it.
How easy is this so far?
So easy.
Yeah.
So I was baker for a week. So this week was, I promptly got demoted from baker after the first week. Because the other thing was I was making things in such a huge quantity.
That's hard,
right?
For anyone.
Well, and naturally I was like, well, they're not going to be able to tell if it's half a cup of salt or more.
Oh my! Actually, that almost happened to us today.
That's true.
We were prepping our ingredients, and I saw a bowl, and I was like, "What is
this shiny
gray
bowl?
flour?" And then I looked at it and touched it, and I was like, "That's sea salt. That's gray Celtic sea salt in the whole bowl." So we avoided that disaster. Okay, so that's done. We can set this aside.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna look for comments as well,
let's check for questions and comments. So far so good, right? Pretty simple.
It was so
pretty easy.
And I can tell that consistency-wise, this is why you want to do things separately.
Yeah. Well, look at how nicely it's all incorporated together. Okay. So now I'm going to do the wet ingredients in a blender, and this makes it even easier because you don't even have to mix it at all. It's just going through. And I think we have a comment or a question. Do we?
Guys,
let's check in.
We've
got some behind the scenes signaling.
Okay, yes. Hello, Tara. Hi, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Tara.
Okay. What is the difference between cocoa and cocoa nibs?
Great question. Well, cocoa nibs or cacao nibs, so where does chocolate and cocoa come from? It comes from the cacao bean. So there are actual beans that grow, and they are taken out of their bean pods and they are dried in different ways depending. So that bean gets dried and then it gets crushed up. And the crushed up dried bean, the cacao bean, is cacao nibs.
Got it.
Cacao powder is when they take the bean and they grind it down
and that's what
into a powder, and that's what we're using today.
Okay.
Cocoa powder is a little different. Cocoa powder is a little more refined.
Yes.
So there's
heat thing.
Yeah, and they're also separating the cacao butter, so the fat from it, and in a more extensive way. So it's just that like darker, more refined powder, whereas raw cacao powder, they're separating the cocoa butter as well, but there's a little bit more of the nutrients left over from the fat and the minerals like iron and magnesium.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So
and wait, question.
Yes.
What would be a good opportunity to use the cocoa nibs? And would they be a little bit more bitter then?
Well, the cocoa nibs are not sweet at all. So, and neither is cacao powder. So don't expect it to taste like cacao nibs to taste like chocolate chips.
Okay.
They're not going to taste like chocolate chips.
Misconception?
And they wouldn't be a good substitution for chocolate chips in any baking recipe. They don't melt. There's no sweetness.
Got it.
They'll get like tough and rubbery when you bake them. I like using them raw. I only really use cacao nibs raw. So I'll use them in my breakfast. I'll sprinkle them on top. I'll use them on desserts after I've cooked the dessert. Then I'll put them on top. Yeah, so for this cake, when you check out the recipe, you'll see it's garnished with like a dusting of cocoa powder, and then I sprinkled raw cacao nibs on top. And that'll add a nice crunch. The nutritional value will still be there. and it's just a nice way to make it look really pretty too.
Cool. So I guess it's kind of like coffee beans, and then you have the bean form.
Yeah.
Then depending on how you grind it, you can have a fineness and a processing after that.
Right, exactly. Cacao nibs are meant for their crunch, their nutritional value. They're raw. They're not meant to be heated or cooked with, in my opinion, and they don't taste good when you cook them.
Okay.
Not necessary.
Awesome. Hopefully that answered your question, Tara. And Tara actually has one other question.
Yeah.
Do you use all organic ingredients?
I love using all organic ingredients when I can find them. I mean, I live in Toronto, in downtown Toronto, and there's some great options in this city, but I'm not always near the best stores. So wherever I'm close to, I'll find the best options I can, and that's what I would recommend you to do as well. If you have a great health food store or a store that sells a lot of healthy ingredients near you, stock up. And the better quality ingredients you can find, organic is usually a good indication with baking ingredients that it's better quality, or like raw, unprocessed ingredients, go for those. But if you can't find those or you don't have access to those, that's okay. Just use what you have and use the best versions of what you can find.
That's a great answer. I know personally, and it's from when Talia has baked or cooked for me, the flavor profile of an organic ingredient and the finished product is so much more complex and so much more rich. So I know, and then, I mean, naturally, you know, the health benefits are going to be that much more complex and rich as well. So Yeah, I find with higher quality ingredients, the health benefits are better, but the flavor profiles of the ingredients are better too. Like if you took regular high processed cocoa powder and raw cacao powder and did a taste test, they would taste entirely different. So you're getting an entirely different flavor and the nutrients. Yeah.
So do what you can. Online shopping for groceries or healthy groceries, if you don't have local access, is also a good way to get healthy ingredients. And I'm gonna add maple syrup. As we maybe check out if we have more questions, I'll add the wet ingredients.
I have a question for you regarding, I know that certain things are organic, but then certain things, can they even be organic? So for example, salt or minerals or baking powder, these types of things, because they're not necessarily plant-based, can they be organic?
Right. There are certain things that cannot be certified organic, like minerals. I've never seen organic salt. I don't know if maybe all no, not all salt. Maybe all sea salt is organic. No, there are some that are more processed than others. So with salt, I'll look at how much it's been processed. So I like to lean towards salt that is sea salt. Like Celtic sea salt's great, Himalayan sea salt's great. There's some local sea salts for Canadians that come from BC. That it's always nice to buy local whenever you can, especially with things like salt that are coming from really far away. And you'll notice that sea salts will have different colors and undertones to them.
This one had like a gray, almost like a dove gray color.
Yeah, so that's Celtic sea salt that I'm using, and it's literally a little bit moist.
Yeah.
And where is it?
Because there was a big bowl of it and we almost put it in the recipe.
I got it.
So I was like, what is this? Why does this look so strange?
I'll put it here.
Okay.
Maybe I'll put it, we'll get an overhead shot.
Okay. Can I stick my finger in it?
You can stick your finger in it.
Look,
salt
it's
is
moist.
It's also naturally antibacterial. So you can stick your finger in it and it'll be okay.
I want to make a happy face.
Okay, so see how it's kind of moist? See how the happy face just sticks?
It sticks.
It just sticks. It's so happy. You can see it has that gray texture and color, and it's. Oh, I'm sorry, I killed it.
It's okay.
Let's make another one.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
So that's the kind of salt that I'm using today, but use whatever you can find, like the really white refined sea salts that just looks like white powder probably will be devoid of trace minerals. So try to find, like, color is a good way to indicate the health properties of salt as well, as long as it's not added color. So check the ingredients.
And the flavor profile changes too, right? It adds a little new dimension to what you're cooking with.
And even, I mean, if we want to get into salt, even the texture. So there are lots of salts that naturally are harvested in flake form, in different types of granules. There are some that look like pearls naturally, and they're finishing salts. So you wouldn't cook with those because it would all just dissolve and it'd be wasted. But you just sprinkle it on at the end and it'll add new crunch and texture. So the flavor will be altered, the texture will be altered. Like salt as a whole, we should do an episode on salt.
I feel like, and this is the kind of cool thing about getting into food and having fun with food and experimenting. I learn so much from Talia all the time because
likewise.
Because she uses such a variety of different ingredients. I don't know, it adds so much. I think I've said complexity 7 times already on this show.
It's really complex.
But yeah, I feel like, you get so stuck in what you're used to using. I stock my pantry. I always just have the things that I usually buy, and I get stuck in that.
I think a lot of us do.
Yeah, so it's fun to be able to hear about new things and then try new things and, integrate new ingredients and play around.
That's my goal, that, maybe there's probably going to be a lot of ingredients that we're using today that may be really foreign to you or that you've never heard of before. Don't be intimidated. Take it one ingredient at a time.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, every time you go to the grocery store, maybe you'll see coconut sugar one day, or maple syrup, or almond flour. Pick one, buy it, experiment with it. Or if you want to be crazy like me, just get it all and make this cake. You won't regret it.
Well, this would be a good starting point. If you're new to some of these, the end product will make it 120% worth it.
Yes.
To try these new ingredients.
Speaking of weird ingredients, apple cider vinegar. This is raw apple cider vinegar.
We love apple cider vinegar at the Hearty store.
Yes. Do we want to talk about some of the health benefits of apple cider vinegar?
We can. Well, actually, you guys may have known this previously. I'm a big skin fan, so
me too.
Yes. And one of my favorite topical treatments for if I feel like I'm getting a pimple has apple cider vinegar in it because it's actually got a negative pH. Your skin naturally has a lower pH, so a more acidic mantle, I guess you would call it.
Which helps to protect your skin.
Exactly. So if you're using soaps and cleansers that make your pH go up too high, that disrupts the environment and can throw things off. So you actually want to always try to keep it to where it's supposed to be. But apple cider vinegar and a little bit of lemon, I put spot treatment wise. I can write up a blog post for you guys on this because it works almost every time. It goes down. Yeah, like
there we go. Skin and food for both. Okay, so raw virgin coconut oil. Gonna add that. That's our healthy fat that we are using today.
Okay.
And I'm gonna add some vanilla extract. Yeah, give it a little.
I love. And this is one of the major ones. If you guys are like, I don't think that there is a taste difference between organic and not, I would really challenge you to go out and get a bottle of organic vanilla extract and non-organic and smell and taste the difference. And there's a huge difference.
Artificial vanilla extract is just food flavoring. It's not actually really coming from the vanilla bean,
which is crazy.
And so you want vanilla extract to be extracted from pure vanilla beans. So stay away from artificial. I'd rather not use any vanilla than use artificial.
I want real food, Talia.
Real food.
I want real food live, Talia.
All right. And 1 egg.
Oh, the egg.
Crack it in.
If you guys didn't watch me try to do a one-hand egg opening
on
our matcha mug cakes,
we did that.
It didn't go well. I wasn't very good. But.
Coconut sugar, which I'll get you to add to the recipe. So we're using coconut sugar for this one instead of any type of refined sugar because it's less processed. So it's extracted from, comes from coconuts. Just a spoon.
Look how weird this looks, guys.
And of course, I'm going to add avocado.
And this is a beautiful looking avocado.
Yeah, as our healthy fat. And I'm going to get a little spoon, scoop it out.
Do we have any more questions? Let me see. None yet.
Okay, so avocado's going in.
Easy. And only half an avocado.
Just half in the whole cake. I mean,
if you wanted to put more, could you?
Yeah, you absolutely. Oops. Just a little clinging and clanging going on over there.
That's what happens. This is what cooking's all about.
So the avocado, along with the coconut oil fats, when we're putting fat into our recipe, the reason is that it helps to keep it moist.
This is the moist maker.
So when your cake is getting dry or anything you're baking is getting dry and you're like, why?
Awful.
You need healthy fats to keep it moist. And so the avocado is helping with that. Okay, and now we are going to blend. Would you like to hit that button there,
This
Nadia?
is my favorite part. I would love to hit
Press the button.
Okay. Wait, start?
No.
5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And stop. Oh yeah, here.
Well, that was easy.
Now, we don't want to overblend because there is an egg in there, and we don't want to overbeat.
Oh, we don't want to whip it.
Or overblend an egg.
Okay.
So that's all we have to do. Okay.
See, and this is a hot baking tip because
Yeah.
I would have just
You'd been like, this is so fun.
and blended
Look
and
at how
blended.
well it's blending. And
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna
Sorry.
pour this in, and you take the spatula.
Okay.
I'll pour it in, and you start mixing.
Ooh, okay. Oh, interesting. Look
So
at this.
now what we're doing is we're combining the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients together.
Okay. How am I doing?
You're doing
okay?
an amazing job. And the reason, now we've switched over, so I'm mixing it now with, well, Nadia's mixing it with a spatula, not a whisk, because if I were to use a whisk to do this, it would get clumpy, it would get stuck in the whisk, and feel very messy. But we've already gotten the lumps out of the dry mix. The wet mix was nice and blended and smooth, so there shouldn't be too many lumps to contend with at this point.
I'm hunting for lumps.
Okay, get
I'm
the
looking
lumps,
for
you got
them.
them. You'll find them, you'll get them.
Because I actually have made cookies before, guys, where I did not follow any of these instructions, and I bit into it, and I got a pop of baking soda. It was disgusting. It was awful.
See, but because you mixed your dry ingredients so well, that would never happen.
I know.
That
Well,
would
I'm
never
learning.
happen.
This is fantastic.
Just
I
gonna
love
grab
how-
this
oh,
food processor.
This is
here.
already smelling amazing. And this is it. That's the cake.
Okay, so that's the cake batter.
Okay.
Now, what I have here is, this is called a spring form pan. Yeah, you can totally lick it. Actually, I want to taste it.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's nice and sweet. It's not too crazy sweet.
No, it's really good.
You get the cocoa flavor. Okay.
Are we gonna
she's
use this
loving
again?
it. She's loving it. Not anymore. We're not. No, I'm kidding. We actually weren't. I have an
Okay.
extra one ready to go.
So I only get invited on this show every so often.
Okay, so this is a spring form pan,
Mm-hmm.
and I highly recommend, this is in the
Put it down.
recipe, we've put some coconut oil. Nadia nicely put some coconut oil on the spring form pan.
Instead of butter. Instead
Yeah.
of greasing it with butter,
Yeah.
we used coconut oil.
I highly recommend using a spring form pan because when you open it,
Whoa.
I mean, I didn't do that very gracefully at all,
I thought it was very graceful.
but the side comes off, and this is a sticky cake. I think we have some questions.
I'm going to look
Or
right
comments. Okay. So try to use a spring form if you can. If not, then I would line your cake pan with parchment paper.
now. Ooh, Emmy. Hi, Emmy.
Hey, Emmy.
How's it going, girl? She says, oh, apple cider vinegar is great for your scalp. It is. It is fantastic.
Oh,
Actually, we have an
yeah.
awesome recipe on scalp health and hair growth, and with coconut oil as well, that we can put in a link to.
Amazing.
Oren. Hello, Oren.
Hey, Oren.
Oren's going to be hopefully making this cake later as well. He asks, is there a proper
Oh, I'm
speed for the blender and how long to blend? So I pressed speed 5, which was actually a pretty high speed, but I'm pretty sure we only blended for less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would just put it on medium to high.
Yeah.
And we're not doing it for long because we don't want to overbeat the egg. You're just blending it until everything's smooth.
Okay.
As soon as you see smoothness, stop.
Okay. So just use your eye.
Use your eye.
Andre. Hello, Andre.
Hey, Andre.
He asks, what do you think about using coconut oil as a healthy fat for the cake? Can that work? Oh, so this is almost instead of the avocado? Or would you use it at the same time? That's a good question.
Well, we are using it at the same time. So there's coconut oil and avocado in this recipe.
Oh, okay.
So we are taking that idea and we are absolutely using it.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, there was a little bowl of the
Yeah.
coconut oil. I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So we've got coconut oil and avocado as our healthy fats. Instead of coconut oil, you could also use avocado oil. You could even use olive oil.
Ooh.
This is getting baked at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, so you could totally use olive oil.
Okay.
Up to you.
And you mentioned this because you want to be using olive oil at a low heat.
It has
correct?
a lower smoke point.
Right.
Virgin olive oil, the good quality extra virgin olive oil, has a lower smoke point, but it's usually good up to 350 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my weird spatula over here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So we have this cake batter here. Now, when you're using a springform pan, because the sides come off, it can leak from time to time. So I always put it on a sheet tray, on a baking sheet like this.
Okay.
Just to cover all your bases and make sure you don't have an oven disaster afterwards.
Are these easy to find or?
Yeah, like
because I haven't seen them.
Yeah. They're very, very common springform pans. They have this little latch here that opens up. So any kitchen store, any baking store, you can buy them online. They should be really easy to find.
Okay.
Like wherever you get your normal baking pans, you should be able to get springform pans. So we're gonna pretend, our oven's actually not on yet. So this is going in the oven, but like all good cooking show magic,
Ooh, da-da-da-da! Oh my gosh.
we have one that's done.
And it actually smells, and you can, I love how it's pulled away from the sides, which is hot tip, baking tip.
Yeah, it just naturally happens. The reason why it pulled away though is because it was the pan was properly greased and properly lined, so it didn't stick to the edges.
Got it.
That's why you gotta grease your pans.
Okay.
Okay, so now, next step, I'm gonna set this aside over here, is the icing.
Ooh. We also have a comment from Jordan.
Yeah.
Hi, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Jordan says, my mom uses apple cider vinegar for some of her age spots. Yes, that's also fantastic. And you can do a combination of lemon juice and apple cider vinegar for a little bit extra vitamin C, which can help reduce age spots as well.
Yeah, so hyperpigmentation, they're like the natural enzymes that help to break down the surface skin cells that are causing that hyperpigmentation, like age spots or like anything like that, darker spots on the skin, and it helps just like buff it away. Yeah, naturally. Amazing. Okay, so now I'm doing this in the food processor, and you know what I'm gonna do? You can go ahead and add the cocoa powder.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give this a rinse.
I like it when she gives me tasks.
We're adding, basically you add everything to your food processor.
Because right now we're making the icing.
We are making the icing / frosting, either or.
Okay.
I don't really know what the difference is.
Ooh, are we using a whole avocado for this?
We're using a whole avocado.
Okay. This feels like a perfectly ripe avocado. Okay, again, I know you've told me this before.
Yes.
How do I know?
Well, let's see. So people normally say this little nub here, you got to take it away, and if it's lime green, like bright green, that's how you know.
That it's
looks
right?
like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm one of those people, I forget, and then I go in the store, and then I take it off, and I'm like, I don't know.
I've actually been to stores before where they've said, please do not remove the little nubs from the avocados, because I think it makes them ripen even faster, and I think people walk around stores just doing this all the time to try to find it. I actually don't do it this way. That's a way that I've heard of doing it. Like, it doesn't even look that bright green.
It's hard for me to tell, but then when I touch it, that's when I can feel the difference.
You gotta go by feel. So it just has to feel soft but not mushy.
Got it.
Soft but not mushy.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut this while we check if we have any other questions or comments.
And I love, okay guys, so something to pay attention to is the beautiful amount of healthy fats that we're using in this are amazing, because not only is this type of dessert, healthy dessert, going to satisfy your cravings from kind of a sweet tooth and indulgent perspective, but healthy fats help you stay satisfied and full as well.
They really, really do. They help to balance out your blood sugar.
Yes, they're good for hormone production.
Sustained energy.
Yep.
Brain health.
Hair and skin health. They're amazing. So I love that we're using these amazing healthy fats in here.
I couldn't agree more, and especially because it's avocado and it's dessert, they're just so nicely disguised.
Yes.
So it's just like a win-win on every possible level.
Oh, okay, we have another comment. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name.
Okay, go for it. Give it your best shot.
Starire, hello, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
She asks, or he asks, any tips for the leftover avocado, because it tends to go darker when I store it in the refrigerator. Yes, this happens to me all the time, and it doesn't look quite as tasty.
A couple of tips: wrap it really well so that if you're using, let's say, plastic wrap, make sure it touches the skin of the avocado.
Ooh.
If you don't like
Touches
plastic, like the open side of it,
Okay.
just leans on, because if it's exposed to oxygen or air,
oxygenation,
that's when it turns brown. So you want to try to prevent it from being exposed. If you have chopped up avocado or guacamole in a bowl, like let's say guacamole mashed, not chopped, mashed, you can put it in a container and you can actually just cover like a 1/2 inch layers worth of water on top, cover it with a lid, and it will be lime green, like perfectly bright green.
Great tip.
And it's just water. And it won't penetrate, it won't go into the
fat
guacamole.
And water and fat water
it just sits on top. And it's like a natural saran wrap or plastic wrap or something.
That's a really good tip. I've also heard before, but I don't know how much truth there is to this.
And maple syrup as we talk, yes.
Oh, maple syrup.
Yeah.
Is some people take the pit and leave the pit in.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I've done it before. So if you're making a big bowl of guacamole and you're mashing it up, put the pits in.
Yeah.
I love doing that too.
It's like my favorite summer
meal. I don't know. I think that works. I mean, citrus also really helps.
Oh, right.
So
if you
lemon
have the
juice or lime juice, squeezing it on top and then storing it will help. Pure vanilla extract.
Ooh.
Sea salt. I always put sea salt in my sweet desserts.
Right, because it balances the profile?
Yeah, it brings out all of the other flavors. It literally brings them all out. Okay. And that's it. Nadia, your very important job is coming up right now.
Okay.
Oh, oops, I did it for you. I thought there was an on button and then like a power and then an on. Okay, go.
So this is a food processor.
This is a food processor.
Why are we using this versus the blender?
We're using this because you can use a blender, but it's not a big amount. You can keep going.
Okay.
It's not a big amount, and so most blenders, it won't catch on the blade if it's not enough. So if you're gonna do it in your blender, this is what I would recommend. Double the recipe and make it. You'll have extra frosting, which I promise will not go to waste. You'll find good use for it, chocolate avocado frosting, and it'll blend up really well.
Okay. I'm worried to overblend, but there's no egg in this, so you can't really overblend it.
No, there's no overblending with this. So what we'll do is we'll scrape down the sides like this.
Okay, very good, very good. Oh yeah, because it's getting there, but you need to...
This is, because there's less liquid in this recipe.
Right.
So it's more of a stop-start situation where you just have to be patient with it, let it do its thing. Okay, let's check on it.
Okay.
See, this still isn't a big amount, so we may, and then you know what I'm gonna show you?
It's smelling really, really good. It's so chocolatey.
I know, it really smells like fudge, like chocolate fudge.
Yes.
And if it doesn't catch on this one, I'm gonna show you another alternative tool that you can use. So let's try it again.
So there's only
I'm gonna get
2 modes really on this food processor. There's an on and there's a pulse. So I've just pressed on. Now, you can see it is not pulsing.
We're gonna do a little kitchen equipment 101
Ooh.
test. Okay, so we're gonna try something else because same thing like the blender, there's just not a lot here. Yeah, let's show them.
Oh God, okay. So as you guys can, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's getting there, but you can still see that there's a lot of avocado that hasn't fully been blended in. And you're right, it's because there's such a little amount in here that it's having a hard time kind of fully emulsifying.
The other thing that I remembered is that this is actually the dough blade for this food processor.
Ah, dough blade.
Not the actual blending blade, because that's the one we have, so it's not gonna be as powerful. So I'm gonna move this to the side, and I'm gonna do we're gonna get fancy with our equipment. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take out the blade.
Suri Ray. Suri Ray is saying thank you for the awesome tip. And no problem. It didn't come from me, but it came from Talia. No problem.
We're getting tips left, right, and center. Okay.
Jordan is actually asking, so for that same tip, are you just using tap water? Is that fine?
You can use tap water or you can use filtered water.
Right, because it's not penetrating, so it's not like you're
really... Oh, for the avocado
For the avocado, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can use, you can use whatever water you have. Yeah. If you have filtered water, whenever I'm using anything with food, I would use filtered water. Like, if you can, why not? But if you have regular tap water, that will work as well. Whatever water you use to drink.
Okay, I literally just want to like eat
Jump in it?
I literally just want to jump all of this. So if you doubled up the recipe, what's another thing that you could do with this icing? Or what would you, you know?
Yeah, you could, oh my God.
You could
so
drizzle
many
it on...
things. I would dip fruit in it. I would use it as a fruit dip.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so now I'm gonna show you.
I was gonna try to grab a spatula. You should take it away.
Take it. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to.
That is delicious.
Okay, so here we go. We're gonna show you with the hand blender.
Oh, this is much better.
Yeah, so whatever tools you have on hand, do the best that you can, but this will get out the lumps of the avocado. It'll make it nice and smooth. Nadia's happy with her
This is so
spatula.
good. It's actually so good.
Isn't it so good?
It's like, it tastes like there's so much, like, I don't know, it's sweet,
Yeah. Well, there's maple syrup in it.
but not too sweet.
No, and it's just a bit of maple syrup. And, you know, some recipes call for icing sugar. Not necessary. Not necessary. So this is...
Okay, so this is blending so nicely now.
Yeah.
It looks very creamy.
It's getting nice and creamy, and it's nice and thick.
Yeah.
Like a good chocolate
You can hear
frosting.
it's like...
Okay.
Look at it. So thick.
Okay, so now all I have to do is get this off. There we go. And that's it. So we are going to transfer.
Oh shoot, I think we might have needed this to frost something. I'm gonna rinse it quickly. Should I rinse
Don't
it?
worry. I've got you covered. For when Nadia comes over to lick all your spatulas, always keep extra ones on hand. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this into a bowl, and let's see, do we have any other questions or comments as we're going along?
Not right now, but we do see, yeah, guys, if you are looking for the recipe, for the full recipe and beautiful imagery as well, step-by-step instructions, it's all in the post right here.
Yeah, and can you guys see how thick
It looks amazing.
and
It looks like
luscious that is?
unreal. I can hold that.
Okay, oh, I know what's gonna happen to that.
I'll leave
And
it.
we've got our frosting here, and
Oh my
the
gosh.
fun part's coming up.
I'm so excited. This also, like,
Whoa, good
see,
catch. You should have held it. You knew.
I won't do it.
You can do it.
Okay.
I mean, this we can do anything on Facebook Live. We can make up all the rules. Basically just licking spatulas.
Oh my gosh, it's actually unreal.
So good, huh?
The crazy thing is, I find that avocados have like a pretty pronounced flavor,
Yeah.
but I can't, like, I would never know that avocados are in here.
Yeah.
But they
Totally.
are.
I know, they
And
really
not only am I
they really
feeling
blend in
like I'm
nicely.
indulging, I'm also feeling like I'm helping my brain and hormones.
Right? Like you're getting healthy while licking chocolate frosting.
And chocolate is amazing not only as a mood booster, it also has aphrodisiac properties.
Ooh la la.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have our cake
Mm-hmm.
that's been baked. We have our frosting.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun part.
We're gonna scoop it on top.
Could you put this on cookies?
You could put this on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna be frank.
Yeah.
Why not?
I would eat this all the time.
It's chocolate frosting. Take our palette knife.
Mhm.
This is called a palette knife. It's just a little kind of soft, flexible baking knife.
Mhm.
It's not even a knife. It's not sharp. It's just called a palette knife. And it helps you to spread things really nicely. So spreading the frosting out like this. Do you want to try?
Yes.
Okay, I know, this looks fun, huh? Let me take this. It might be hard to part with. I'm just gonna set that aside.
I don't want to waste.
I know, it's good. I'll just put this right over
Also,
here.
I don't know if I have frosting, guys, because this is live also, and I'm realizing that I'm eating live. I don't know if I have frosting all over my face. Oh, this
great
is fun.
job. Isn't that fun?
Look at this.
Just spreading it
Oh
out,
my god.
smoothing it over.
Whoa. Okay. Do I want to get these edges though? Yeah.
You can get as creative as you want. So when you're doing this at home, you know, get as creative as you want. You could also double it up, and you could double up the recipe of the frosting, and you could frost around the edges of the cake.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm gonna make it go away.
There we go.
But you know, fun with food, and I feel like kids would absolutely love this recipe. So if you have
it would be
children,
great with
or you're going
kids.
to a birthday party and you need a dairy-free, gluten-free option that
refined sugar-free. Moms are really
Yes.
into no sugars. So this has some sugar in it, but it's from a more natural source. And then what I'm going to recommend, so once we have it beautifully frosted, like so,
is this okay?
gorgeous.
Do we need this anymore?
No, you can lick it.
Okay.
We're gonna hold this, here, you hold this on top.
Okay.
And this is where we're gonna garnish it a little bit. So I just have some cacao powder here. I'm going to hold a small little strainer over the cake, and I'm just gonna put a little bit in.
Should I be moving?
Now what you do, you move it around like that.
You show me.
So you just tap it.
Oh, this is beautiful.
And I like to do maybe like one line across.
Oh, look at this art. Guys, this looks like professionally
This is where we up
done.
the ante a little bit. Or you could do the whole thing. Do you want to try?
Sure.
Try the tap.
Okay.
Okay.
A little tap.
Just tapping it. And the strainer does all the work, or the sieve, whatever you like to call it.
I like how it's like half kind of, I can do like a little bit, but.
This little strainer or sieve, it costs maybe $3 to $5, and it's a great little thing to have on hand, just if you want to dust cinnamon or cocoa or any little powders.
Look how beautiful this looks.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
And if you had cacao nibs, that would be a great time to just sprinkle them on top and get into it.
Now, could you garnish this with fruit too? I feel like
Yes.
Yeah.
Berries would be amazing, like raspberries, strawberries, blueberries.
So you could actually make extra frosting,
Yeah.
have it in a little bowl on the side, and then have fresh fruit, and then be able to put more frosting with the fresh fruit if you wanted to.
Frosting for everyone.
For everyone.
In unlimited amounts, basically.
Amazing.
Okay. Any questions or comments as we go?
No, we're gonna keep going.
Okay. So I'm just gonna cut this now,
Okay.
and I think it's time to try.
Oh,
Now it's a little sticky because it's so moist.
so moist.
Don't be alarmed by how moist it is. I feel like last time we did this, we said the word moist a lot.
I know.
And here we go again.
did. We really did.
I guess it's a theme of our show.
But that's what you want. You don't want a dry chocolate cake. That sounds not good to me.
No, when you're baking, you want moist.
Yeah.
You just do.
Mm-hmm.
You just do. Okay, these are our little bowls.
They're adorable.
Now, it's always hard. This is not a spring form pan. So right now, I only had one, and I baked the other one in it. I'm gonna show you why you should get a spring form pan.
Okay.
This is a regular cake pan, and it's gonna be very sticky. So we're gonna get them out, and we're gonna do our best.
Okay. And if you had like a little mini spatula, you could use
or like
that
one
too?
of those cake spatulas would be good. But we're just gonna work with what we have.
Yeah, this
I'm gonna take this first piece because it's not gonna be as nice.
honestly to me, if it like it looks so delicious that it doesn't matter what form it is. But I know that presentation is important.
Yeah, so this is what we don't want. As Exhibit A, we don't want that. Now,
Exhibit A looks delicious.
Yeah, but
but less in the cake form.
But check out our blog post and check out the photos because that's the one I made yesterday.
Got it.
And you'll see perfectly beautiful slices. Why? Because it was using a springform pan. Okay, Nadia, you're gonna get I'm challenging you.
Cool, man.
Do the best you can.
Okay.
We're
We
gonna-
also have another question. So
Yes.
I'm gonna multitask right now, and while I'm doing this,
Okay, I can help
Andre
you.
is also asking, the recipe calls for an egg.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the different egg substitutes for baking, right? So if you were vegan
Yeah.
and trying to make this a vegan
If you're
recipe.
vegan or you're allergic to eggs, there's a little note in the recipe, which you will see, which says if you're vegan and you don't eat eggs, no worries. Simply substitute it with like chia gel or flaxseed gel, which is a fake egg made out of chia seeds and water or flax seeds and water. All you do is soak about a couple of tablespoons of chia seeds in some water, and it turns into a gel.
Ooh.
And that will help to keep your recipe moist and bind it. Egg is a binder. It will help to bind the
Guys,
recipe.
see what I'm doing here? I'm putting it back in
Okay,
cake form.
that was gorgeous.
Thank you.
You
Thank
did such a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's just eat it.
Okay.
It's time.
Oh my gosh. Cheers. Wait. Oh, you went before me. Okay, that's
Because
okay.
I was too excited.
Cheers.
What?
Cheers. This is unreal. Okay, guys.
So good. Thank you guys so much for watching.
This is so good, actually, guys.
One more time, it is moist.
Oh.
So
it's moist. So good.
It really, truly is.
If you guys are looking for, if you guys just tuned in for the first time and you're looking for past episodes, this is episode
We don't have a number yet.
We don't have a number, but
it's earlier on. We've got a couple behind our belts.
Absolutely. And if you miss them live, you can always go to the video section of our post page, and all of them are there. So you can go back and watch them. Stay tuned next week.
Yeah, we have some great stuff coming to you next week. We'll let you know in a little bit amount of time once we figure it out. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and have an amazing day. And we will see you next Thursday on Real Food Live.
Bye, guys.